Can you hear me now?
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
There you go. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, Luke. I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for your patience today. I just had a session went over a little bit, but here we
Oh,
are. So,
not a problem. Thanks for getting me in.
so tell me, how things been over the last week? What tips?
They've been amazing.
Okay,
Um, the
awesome.
weekend was definitely a challenge. Like it was a big time challenge. There was a ton of stressors came up.
Yeah,
Um, but then come Monday, well, the rest of last week. So I mean Thursday night, Friday, without a hitch, not a problem.
yeah,
Friday night and spawning off until like Monday afternoon, like you couldn't have more triggers. Like I was just full of anxiety and stress
yeah.
to like to the hilt.
Okay,
So I did a lot of tapping,
yeah.
a lot of journaling.
Okay,
Um, but I was like I was really touchy. Like it was touch and go.
yeah.
And then I'm starting to kind of get some more work coming in.
Cool.
Um, but it's getting sporadic. So I lost the one spot. So I'm trying to like dabble in different places, trying to get everything done and
Okay,
organized again.
yeah.
Um, so didn't have a drink, didn't have a drink, didn't have a drink. I got I got riled up on Tuesday night,
Okay,
and I ended up having two beers and a glass of wine.
okay. Tuesday night.
And the wine, like it just happened. It was just so quick, and then I was like, "Fuck!" I didn't even think about it.
Yeah,
It was almost to the point, and then I was kind of just. I ended up talking like having a good heart to heart with my dad, which I haven't had in a long time.
yeah. Okay,
So then I ended up having a beer with him,
okay.
and then I went to my room, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what am I doing?" I felt horrible,
Yeah,
and I couldn't sleep.
yeah.
And I ended up having the last one there. They don't keep a lot of alcohol or beer at their house.
Okay, all right.
And then I just had the last one there, and then
Okay.
I fell asleep, and then woke up in the morning, and for the whole day yesterday, I felt horrible. Like
Okay.
and when I was having that sip of beer, like I could hear my brain speaking to me, right?
Yeah.
I don't hear voices, but
Then you're
I
not
can hear
alive.
it.
You're not.
It's
I love like it's like everyone hears voices all of the time. It's like it's called your mind, so it means that you're alive and you're a normal human being. Although I don't like that word.
and it's telling me like it's telling me like don't do it right, journal, watch your video, tap. And I was just so like bombarded with
So
everything.
stop. So since we did our last session last Thursday, it's now Thursday a week later. The only time you drank was Tuesday,
Correct.
and you drank two beers and one wine,
Correct.
and that's it.
That's it.
So you mean you're not perfect?
Yeah, not at all.
Oh man,
And
you,
it didn't
you,
even, I just felt like crap. Like I felt like shit afterwards. I felt like not just because I'm so hard on myself. Like I'm very,
sure.
very hard on myself.
So
And
typically, go ahead.
oh, that's it. Yeah, like I just felt really bad for doing it. And I went back last night, and it was the same thing. It was just like all these little habitual things that I'm doing, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, and it was just pure habit. And
So
my head is
yeah,
telling me not to do it.
in a typical week prior to us working together and you not being in a rehab, how many drinks would you have drank? So it's been 7 days. You drank one night, two beers, one wine. Other than me, other than when you went to the rehab, normal week, how much would you have drank?
At least 30 to 40 drinks.
All right, so 30 to 40 drinks. And so you basically drank 37 less drinks.
Yeah. And I on it like the first night, I again I was watching the habits, like my habitual things. So I started to change them a little bit. That worked out well. Friday morning, all day Friday, nothing. Not even didn't even cross my mind. Um Saturday, Saturday from like right in the morning, and it was just trigger, 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 trigger.
Yeah.
Saturday all the way through Sunday was fine. Sunday night came along, and then that was the first time where I was actually like, fuck, I could use a drink. I could use a drink right now. And then I went into the journaling, I went into the tapping, and that went away. Monday, sort of the same thing. And then Tuesday, I didn't do it. I didn't watch the one video that I was told to watch. I didn't journal. I was in like zombie mode. I call it.
That was on Monday.
That was Tuesday.
Before you drank.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I didn't do it.
Great. Thank you for being honest. So, and people are watching this. This is real. Like, oh my God, Scotty's had this problem for 20 some odd years, and you mean in one session it didn't fix everything totally, completely? No, this is real. This is a real life, real situation. So thank you for being honest.
And I was talking to Bronwyn about it too, because I told her Wednesday, because she's been asking and been very, very supportive. And I told her, and I'm like, fuck, like, I feel bad. Like, I don't know if I should not tell Luke or tell Luke. Like, I'm just going to tell him.
Just tell me. Yeah, this only works when we're 100% honest. So basically, you've only got 95% better in one session. Damn it, Scotty. Well, you've only got 95% better.
I'm happy.
You only
I would have been happy with
37 less drinks in the last week. Oh, shame on you. This is terrible. Oh my God. So this is why we're not doing one session.
Yeah, man.
Why we're here today. But you said something you said a lot of interesting things. One of the very interesting things is before you even drank on Tuesday evening, already in that day you decided, I ain't tapping the techniques I gave you last week. I ain't listening to the recorded. I ain't journaling. I'm already done with this. And then later on in the day, you drank.
Yeah.
Oftentimes that happens, right? It's almost before we do the habit, before we do the issue, is already earlier on in the day, we've made some decision, consciously or unconsciously. I'm done today. I'm just so and it shows up. You don't journal, you don't tap, you don't listen to the recording. Then later on comes and you haven't got that support there for that day, and then all the demons are still there because we're fresh into this process. So even when you don't feel like it, even in the times where you feel you're going to do the behavior anyways, still do it. Even if you feel you're only doing the techniques half-heartedly, do it. Then if you do your issue, then you do your issue, but still do the technique, because success leaves clues. You're tapping, you're journaling, you're listening to recording, clean. Tuesday, I ain't journaling today. I ain't tapping, ain't listening to your hypnotic recordings. Oh, lo and behold, later on in the evening, all these triggers are here. I don't have that support because it hasn't been wired into my brain yet to do this stuff automatically or inside my body to naturally do that process. And then you reach for the drink. So, moral of the story is no matter what, even if you feel this is worthless, this isn't going to help. And I know you don't feel that way because it already does help you. Still do it. Even if you're like, no matter what happens, I'm going to do this behavior later on, still do the technique. And then after you do it, then be like, all right, am I at the same place? And 9 times out of 10, you're going to be like, hey, you know what? I don't want to do it. Make sense?
No, it does. Absolutely. It totally does. And that's all that's been on my mind. Absolutely works.
And to be honest, if you told me, and it sometimes happens, not all the time, if you told me, oh my God, I haven't done anything, I haven't had an urge, haven't had a craving, hasn't come into my mind, and I was using 30 to 40 drinks a day and I've done 3, and now I'm at 0, I would have probably looked at you a bit suspect. Like, all right, okay, it does happen, but...
Oh, of course, I can imagine.
Yeah, so tell me, tell me your 3 to 5 biggest triggers at the moment. So go back to Tuesday. Give me the top triggers for you.
It starts with anxiety, and the anxiety is brought on because I put myself under a lot of pressure. Like I work very well under pressure, but if say a link comes out and I have to manipulate what I have to do during out the day to satisfy customers, and and it doesn't sort of work out just because of the COVID and all that. And
I got
parts
it.
and order.
I got it. So anxiety, sounds like overwhelm. Too many balls in the air. You're juggling them all, but there's too many.
And trying to get answers, like trying to get answers for people when I don't have the answer from, you know, an outside source.
So anxiety, stress related to work, got you.
Yeah.
What else, if any, are the big triggers? Go back to
working on like getting my license. Like, so I'm trying to get my license back.
Okay.
Like my full license back, and I bought a vehicle. Okay. And then because of my health issues, I just got a letter in the mail saying that they suspended my license.
Okay.
For health related reasons.
Okay.
Until I have all my appointments and checkups and my doctor signs off on everything again. But now I can't get in to see my doctor. So.
All right. So
it sort of got super excited about, you know, driving fully again and getting, you know, my freedom back and you know, all that sort of stuff. And then it sort of like put a halt on it, and that pissed me off a little bit. Stress,
anxiety, not having answers to questions for yourself or for your clients right now. Anything else?
Just triggered by just outside sources, outside people. But that's about it.
All right.
And loneliness. Oh, when I'm lonely and it's at night.
Yeah.
So when I was reading through my journal this morning, from last week, I've been following up, like when I have a craving, when I'm triggered. Well, I don't have my journal with me, but it starts at around 10 o'clock p.m. Yeah. If I don't fall asleep by 11:30, 12, that's when it gets really, really strong.
Yeah. Do you live by yourself, by the way?
No, I had to move back in with my parents my mom took a stroke, so I had to I take care of my mom and my dad.
All right. So it sounds like anxiety, stress, lot going on, not getting answers to questions immediately for yourself, for your clients, the stuff with the physical stuff. Okay. So it sounds like anxiety, stress, loneliness, which is a form of sadness, are underlining. So any other negative emotions that have popped up before the triggers, linked to the triggers?
I just get frustrated. Just frustration. Like it all sort of ties in with the frustration and the anxiety sort of go hand in hand with the situations.
Okay, I got you. All right.
Yeah.
Good. So let's get through that bit really, really quickly. So can you think of something now that really angers you or frustrates you?
Yeah.
Good. Tell me in one sentence what it is.
There's a person outside source that's sort of showing himself back up into the present time.
All right. Let me have one word that I can trigger off. So give me a name. It doesn't have to be the person's name if you don't want, but when I say it to you, the memory comes up.
House.
House. All right. Close your eyes as you think of house now, and you know what house represents to you, so you can do it very personally inside your brain. Allow all that emotion to come up from that memory on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being total anger, frustration, annoyance, 0 being 0. What number are you at right now as you think about house?
9.
Open your eyes. Get your left hand, little finger with your 2 fingers on your right hand. Just push down on your little finger. Relax your jaw. So actually push your jaw a little bit forward so it looks a bit like this. Mouth open a bit. Yeah, so your mouth is open, your jaw's relaxed. Just keep holding on to that finger, push down on it like so. So open up your other hand, open up your right hand, and then just like push down. Yeah, on the little finger. So like that. You just hold it like that. You see, you're making a fist with the other hand a little bit. Don't just have your other hand open like that. Yeah. And just relax your jaw. I'll explain it to you in a minute, but I'm going to be quiet for a moment while you just do what you're doing. You don't have to do anything other than keep doing what you're doing. And I'll check in with you in a moment. Keep accessing that memory of house. Make sure your jaw's relaxed. And you can talk to me perfectly. On a scale of 0 to 9 right now, on the frustration, annoyance, anger scale, where's that anger, frustration, annoyance now? 0 to 9.
I'd say maybe a 2.
Maybe
I don't know.
All right. I'll check in. Is it a 2 or not? What's that?
It could be a 0.
Could be a
I
zero.
think I'm overthinking it right now, but I don't. It's gone.
Don't think, feel. House. Memories activated. You're in it. I know you can think it, but now you need to feel it. It's not the thought that hurts you, it's the emotion. You can imagine the worst things in the world, but if there's no emotion attached to it, you don't feel anything. That's right. Relax the jaw. Just checking on the
I would go maybe a 2.
A 2. All right. Okay. I'll check in with you in a few seconds. Keep doing what you did. With your other hand, yeah, just make sure. I don't want you to ever make a fist with that other hand. I'll explain to you in a minute why I want it to be open, your other hand. Make sure, and with your, actually pull down on it. So pull down on that little thing. Yeah, don't hurt yourself, but just pull down. Relax your jaw. I'll check in with you in a few seconds. Zero to 2 right now. Where's it gone? The emotion.
Like I would say a 0.
0. Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, keep holding on to that little finger. Keep your jaw relaxed. Try and get pissed off, annoyed, angry about house. Now, keep your jaw relaxed. Keep pulling down on that little finger. Find you could probably get the memory, past or present, but you can't get the emotion. Really try to get a feeling and find that you can't. As long as you keep the finger down and you relax your jaw. Are you in that memory?
Yeah, it's there's nothing there really.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Awesome. Relax. So that's I'll explain how it works, but that's a very, very quick way in the moment, in seconds, to get you out of anger, frustration. So what happens is when we're angry, so frustration, annoyed are just brother, sister emotions of the mother emotion, if you will, of anger. They're just different forms of anger. So may as well go after anger. There's different names for it. So what happens is when we get angry, the amygdala, prefrontal cortex of your brain, very, very quickly, quicker than I can click my fingers, it scans your body to see if you're angry, see if it's needed for fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So the first thing it does, in a split second, quicker than I can do that, if you're angry, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, you tense your jaw unconsciously, you tense your hands. You might not necessarily make fists, but your hands will be tense. Hence why I didn't get you to make a fist with one hand. So what happens when your jaw's relaxed, and when you're pushing down on a little finger, you can't make fist or have tense hands, knuckles with either hand. Your amygdala goes, well, we can't be angry right now. We're going to shut off that adrenaline because he's safe. There's nothing for him to be angry about. And then suddenly it collapses the problem. That's why it works. It works very, very well. So I want you to do that. It's in some videos that I sent you last week, but whenever you feel anger, frustration, right? First thing you do is 0 to 10, if it's anger, and then the first thing you do, push down on a little finger, and then you just hold it for as long as you need to hold it. It might be 10 seconds, it might be 30, it might be a minute, hell, it might be 2 minutes. Guess what? It feels better to do this than be angry. This is all you need to do. You don't have to do anything fancy other than that. But remember, relax your jaw, make sure both hands are open, and you're pulling down gently on that little finger. Make sense?
Yeah, so I love that one. Yeah, it's great.
In the moment, like I've had clients, I'll give you a quick story. I had this client a few years ago in England, many years ago when I lived in England, in fact. This company hired me to come and hypnotize a bunch of stockbrokers for better performance. But really, it was a ruse. It was a guise. They didn't really want me to hypnotize the whole office. There was one guy they wanted me to hypnotize, but they couldn't single him out, couldn't force him to have therapy, right? And they basically said, the boss said to me, the manager, there's this one guy that works with us. He's a great stockbroker. He makes us a shit load of money. He's shit hot at his job. He's great, but he's an arrogant fucker. Nobody likes him, and he's really harming the harmony of the office, the culture of the office. Nobody can bear to be around this guy. We've put him in a corner office to keep him away from everyone. But it just rubs everyone off the wrong way, and it affects the culture, and we don't want that. So I've hired you to pretend to hypnotize everyone, but really I want you to hypnotize him. So I was getting everyone in for a bit of coaching one-on-one, and it came to this guy's turn. We'll call him John. That wasn't his name. So before I open my mouth, John says to me, "Listen, I don't believe in any of this hypnosis stuff. I'm just here because they're making me be here. Don't want to be in it. Think you're a phony, don't believe in any of this stuff. To which I say, I don't believe in it either, but can I just show you something about your mind? It's going to take a couple of minutes and then you're back to making money on the stock exchange. He's like, oh, it's not going to be an hour, like a therapy session. So it'll be a couple. He's like, yeah, I got a couple of minutes. So I showed him this, the things to do with anger. And he looks at me, he's like, all right, is that it? 2 minutes, done. He leaves. They call me back in about 6 weeks later, and I'm again pretending to work with everyone else, but really I'm there for him. So he comes into the office and he's like, I've got to tell you something. I don't believe in hypnosis. Told you that. Yeah. He's like, and if you tried to sell me on hypnosis, I would have been completely shut down. Like, I know. But when you told me the explanation of holding down the little finger and relaxing the jaw and how your amygdala can't release adrenaline, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn means that I can't be angry. I said it makes sense. It makes logical sense. So I went up. I didn't believe you. So I went home, went on Google, checked this stuff out about the jaw and the hand, and it correlated. It made sense. So what would happen? I'm like, so great. So what have you noticed over the last month? Because it'd explode in meetings all the time. He'd cut promos on people left and right out of nowhere. So he says, well, whenever I was in a meeting, I did what you told me to do. Underneath the table, I'd feel these idiots, his words, were talking, or I felt myself getting angry and not listening, waiting for my turn. But I did that thing because it made sense, and I Googled it because I didn't believe you. And I held my little finger under the table. Nobody even knew what I was doing. It was under the table. I relaxed my jaw when everyone else was talking. And as soon as it was my turn, I stood up, did my thing. And when it wasn't my turn, I relaxed my jaw, my finger. And I've had no reports written up about me over last week or last month or so, however long it was. I'm like, great. He goes, but I got to say something really strange. I think you saved my marriage. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I didn't tell you this, but, you know, a couple of weeks ago, my wife said to me, John, I call him John, that's not his real name. She's like, we've been together for many years. She's like, I've been thinking about divorcing you and for a while now. And because you've got this anger. It's the first time his wife had ever brought it up to him. You've got this anger. And although I love you, this anger is just ugly. And I see it as being a corrosive thing. And I've been thinking about leaving you for a while. But then something's changed about you. And the last couple of weeks, last month or so, you're like the man I fell in love with. She's like secretly, Luke, I think you saved my marriage because I did that at home as well and let my anger go. So even though I don't believe in hypnosis, thank you for helping me save my marriage. That's how powerful this technique is. Just relax your jaw, hold on little finger. You said to me you felt some sadness over the last week. That's right. So can you think of something, one of those triggers, maybe the loneliness. When you go to bed, 10, 10:30, you can't, that's it. Close your eyes. On a scale of 0 to 10, imagine now it's 10:30 tonight, 11, can't fall asleep. You're there alone in bed. How high is that loneliness, that sadness, 0 to 10?
An 8.
Open your eyes. I want you to get your ring finger on your left hand, and that you can actually physically wrap around it. You can make a fist with this one. So squeeze your ring finger with your other hand, like so. Relax your jaw. You can close your eyes or keep them open, however you want to do this. I'm going to check in with you periodically every few seconds, but just keep holding that finger as you're doing. And you can talk to me perfectly as you continue to hold that figure, as you have been doing. As you keep that memory open of the loneliness, and know you can have the memory, you can think of 10, 10:30, 11 and not sleeping. It's not the thought that hurts you, it's the emotions attached to the bottom of it. But as you keep that memory open now, on a scale of 0 to 9, where's that sadness? Where's that loneliness gone now?
It's about a 6.
About a 6. Okay, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. I'll check in with you in a few seconds. Where is it now?
A 2 or a 3.
Is it a 2 or a 3? Is it a 2 or a 3 or lower now, Scotty?
It's just sort of hovering. It's just kind of hovering. I've had this for a long time. Like I've been it's been, yeah, and it's been, it's sorry about that.
That's okay. Stop. What number is it right now?
Like a 0 to 1.
0 to 1. Because there's still a 1 there. Okay, keep holding on to it. So here's the interesting thing. You can create a problem consciously or unconsciously as you keep holding on to that finger as quickly as I can click my fingers. For example, a phobia is created this quickly in your mind. Just because you've had a problem for a year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, your whole life. Sometimes people think, well, the length of the problem, the length that I've carried this problem on my back must mean it's going to take that length of time to let go of it. No, it's a bit like this. You're walking around, and your foot's been hurting. Your foot's been hurting for years, but you've done nothing about it. Or you've looked at the wrong foot or the wrong part of the foot that's been hurting, right? But you've had this foot pain for years. And then one day the doctor comes along, goes, oh, Scotty, you've been having this pain because there's a little piece of wood. There's a splinter in your foot. The doctor comes in, he knows what he's doing. He removes the splinter, even though you've been having that foot pain for years and years and years. He removes the splinter, and suddenly the pain's gone. Just because you had it for years doesn't mean you can't get rid of it now. As you imagine, that's right, it's 10:30, 11. It's a bit of a challenge at this particular time to fall asleep. You're there alone. As you focus on that now, where's that sadness or that loneliness gone now?
I'm not thinking of it. 0.
Think about it, but notice as you think about it, because I generally want you to test it, notice now that the emotion's gone. But I do want you to open up the memory so you're thinking of it, but remember, it's not the thought that hurt you, it's just the emotion that was attached underneath. Are you in the memory?
Yeah.
All right, so be in that memory, future or past. Has all of that sadness or loneliness gone now?
No.
No. What number are you at?
Like a 1 or 2.
1 or 2. Let me ask you, is there any good reason that you need to hold on to that 1 or 2? First thing that comes up.
No.
Okay. So point to, keep holding on to that finger, but with your thumb or your index finger, just point to where in your body that sadness resides. It's probably going to be in your throat, your solar plexus, or your tummy, most likely. It could be somewhere else. Just point to where that feeling of loneliness or sadness is.
It's in my throat.
In your throat. What color is it? First color that comes into your head.
Purple.
And what shape is it? First shape that comes into your head.
A triangle.
And it has to be moving. In order for you to feel, emotion is motion, something in motion. Is it moving clockwise or is it moving counterclockwise?
Clockwise.
Clockwise. All right. So what I'm going to get you to do in a moment is I'm going to get you to actually physically mind this. In a moment, you can open up those 2 hands. You're going to grab hold of your throat. Don't want it to hurt yourself. And you're going to imagine on the count of 3 that you're pulling out that purple triangle that's moving clockwise. Then I'm going to rapidly give you some instructions to do real quickly. You ready?
Ready.
Open up your hands. Focus on that throat. Focus on that purple on that throat. Focus on that triangle on your throat. Actually touch your throat now because you're going to pull it out on 3. 1, 2 with both hands. Both hands grab it. And now 3. Pull out that triangle that's purple that's going clockwise. Now change the color. Change the shape and make it spin counterclockwise. Do all that now, and now put it back inside your throat. And notice how that feels differently now. You can keep the good feeling there now, but you can relax your hands to any way you want, in your lap or whatever. Now, as you focus on that memory of going to bed, 10:30, 11, where's the sadness, the loneliness gone now?
0.
Now, try really hard to feel lonely and sad while you keep that new feeling there, locked inside. Try really, really hard to feel lonely, to feel sad. You go to bed early, 10:30 or 11. Notice you can think it, but notice you can't feel that feeling now. And I want you to be honest with me. Has all of that feeling gone from that?
Yeah.
Honestly?
Yes,
Are you satisfied with that?
I am. Yes, very.
Good job. Open your eyes. So we did two things there. You're in Chinese medicine. This comes from Chinese medicine and energy medicine, by the way. This little finger represents anger. Your ring finger represents sadness. Sadness is the mother emotion, but underneath it could be loneliness, feeling down, depression, whatever. But sadness is the mother. So typically you grab it. It wasn't quite going as fast as I wanted it to go, so I added something else. I asked you where you felt it in your body, and typically it will be throat, solar plexus, tummy is where most people will feel these things. I asked you to give it a color, give it a shape. First thing that comes into your mind, so it's more likely to come from the surface, unconscious, rather than a logical thing, because logic don't fix this shit. You chose a color, you chose a shape. In order for you to feel an emotion, it has to be moving. If it was still, you wouldn't be feeling it. So it has to move one way or the other. And simply I got you to change the color, change the shape, change the energy, put it back. So by changing the symptom, by changing the symbol, it works semantically, meaning it changes your experience of it in the body. That's why it shifted for you. That's why we went there. But you can do that with anything. So if you're ever having a feeling inside your body, whether you have a label for it or not, you might have a label, anxiety, sadness, or it might just be, there's a sensation that I don't like. That's how you can change it. What color, what shape, where's it moving, and then quickly pull it out. Actually, you'll physically pull it out. Imagine it's in front of you. It's no longer a part of you. Then quickly change shape, color, direction of the energy, pull it back. And because you've changed the symbol, because you've changed the symbol, it changes its whole impact on your body. Make sense?
Yep, absolutely.
Beautiful. You said, was it stress? Was stress another one that you were feeling?
Yeah, the stress and anxiety, I sort of umbrellaed under one.
All right. So we're going to do this in one. Your final two fingers and thumb. Your middle finger is fear. Your your middle finger is anxiety. Your index finger is fear. Your thumb is worry. So we're just going to combine them all. So you're going to put your middle finger and index finger together like a pistol. Bang, bang. You're going to put your thumb on top like so. And then with your other hand, you can make a fist with this one because it's not anger. You're going to grab your thumb and two fingers, give them a big squeeze. And you can relax them on your lap if you want, but just make sure through this whole process you're squeezing your two fingers and your thumb. Actually, you know what? Let go for a moment. I went too fast. Close your eyes. Bring up something, the thing that's been making you feel anxious over the last week, and just nod your head when you've got it. Give me a word so I can trigger it in you. What's a word that symbolizes that event, that memory?
Donkey.
Donkey. All right. 0 to 10. As you think of donkey now, where's the anxiety now? Don't smile too much. It might disappear, the anxiety that is. What number is the donkey at? That's right.
Just by saying donkey,
Donkey, yeah.
Brought it down there. So I'll have to change my word.
All right.
I wanted to say another one, but
you know what? Let's do this. Open up your hand for a minute. Shake it out. Close your eyes. Bring up that thing in your mind that was making you feel anxious or worried. Let go of the hands for a minute. Yeah, no hands touch it. I just want to trigger it first. I want to get the real response in your body, the real memory. So imagine that thing now. Give it a different name for now. You got that memory, future or past? Okay. Give me a name, a different name for it, different word. Doesn't matter what the word is, just any word.
I can't come up with a word.
Oh, give me a number. Give me a number then. Just give me a number or color.
10.
10. All right. Close your eyes. Think of 10. Don't touch your hands. Yeah. Just keep your hands apart for now, just for a moment. The lid of my pen drops. And As you think of 10 now, 0 to 10, how high is that anxiety, that fear, or that worry?
Right now it's about a 6.
Okay, right now it's about 6. All right. Was it about a 6 when you had it on Tuesday, or was it higher or lower?
Oh, it was off the charts.
All right, so
I would,
imagine it's Tuesday. That thing's happening, whatever it was. You're in the memory, you're in your body. It's Tuesday. It's going on. It's real. You're there now. Revivification, easy for me to say. 0 to 10. Where's the anxiety now as you think about it now? Be in it now.
9.
Okay. So what I want you to do now, keep your eyes closed. Grab your index finger, your middle finger, and your thumb on top. Squeeze them all. Just breathe normally. I'm going to check in with you periodically every 10 seconds or so. What number has it gone to now?
So like a 3, 2 or 3.
Is it a 2 or a 3? First one.
2.
Okay, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great. Donkey. Remember donkey, by the way? I wonder why you said donkey. You don't need to tell me, by the way.
I'll tell you later.
You can tell me after. Donkey. That's right. And as you keep thinking about that thing that was, well, we'll call it 10 now, as you keep holding on to those 2 fingers and thumb, donkey right now. That's right. Keep the memory open now as you squeeze donkey. Now, I don't know why you laugh so much about it, donkey. When I think of donkey, I think of that donkey from Shrek, isn't it? It's Eddie Murphy as a donkey. As you keep that memory open now, that's right. I think it was a 10 on Tuesday. You keep squeezing 10 now, donkey. 0 to 2. Where's the anxiety? Fear or worry?
0.
Really? For sure?
Yeah.
Now, I want you to keep holding on, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing perfect, by the way. But I want you to try to make yourself feel anxious. Really bring it back now. Attempt to bring back that memory, future or past, whatever that thing was going on Tuesday. Bring it back now. Try and get anxious about it. Try and get worrisome about it. Try and get fearful about it now. Donkeys, keep holding on to those 2 fingers and thumb now. Make sure the memory is still open. I want you to focus on that memory. Donkeys, you keep squeezing now. Where's the anxiety gone now? Donkey.
It's still a 0, Luke.
Still a 0. Are you trying to feel anxious?
I am.
But you're good at this.
Yeah.
Try harder. Really.
Yeah.
Right, I want you to give it the strongest attempt that you've ever had to make yourself feel anxious. And I know you've had anxiety. We've done anxiety for many, many years now. You were really good at it. So really, really give it a good old test. Convince yourself that you've let go of it. Keep that memory open. Make it vivid. Donkey. As you keep squeezing those 2 fingers and thumb. That's right, donkey. As you keep that memory open, collapsing now in and of itself. You don't need to do anything other than hold on to those fingers and listen to my words now. That's right, donkeys, it just collapsed. And imagine it tries to come back and it just bounces off of you. Like there's a force field around your mind now. And it tries to come back again and it bounces even further away. It's that force field around your mind protects it. It comes back, it rears its ugly head again and it bounces further and further and further away from you and takes all those feelings away with it now. As you open that memory and you keep that memory of 10 open now, your word, donkey. Where's the anxiety gone? Stayed gone now. What number has it gone to now?
A 0.
0. Are you satisfied with that?
Yeah.
Good job. Open your eyes.
Yeah.
So, recap. Chinese medicine. Little finger is anger. Don't make a fist. Push down, relax your jaw. Sadness is ring finger. Middle finger is anxiety. Index finger is fear. Thumb is worry. Usually anxiety has all these ingredients for many people. So you may as well kill 3 birds with 1 stone. 2 fingers together, thumb, and squeeze them down. Always remember to relax your jaw. And just wait. And just wait. And you don't have to do anything sexy or amazing. It will naturally just drop. Or, I think with one client once ever, and it's only because of the language barrier, it didn't drop. Everyone else, I'm talking thousands of people I've done this with. It always works. But it's something you need to keep doing, right? It's a thing like, oh, I'm anger. Oh, it didn't work. You mean that me touching that finger one time didn't release all of my anger forever from the past and the future didn't happen? Oh my God, it didn't work. No, you just got to do it. You got to do it a lot. Every time the trigger's there, The triggers will always exist. You'll feel a little bit, and then within a millisecond, you just go back to little finger, relax your jaw. And every time, or you feel a little bit of that sadness, you feel it, it comes up. You're a human being, you grab the finger. Or you change the color, the shape, the energy. Or you feel a bit of that anxiety. All these responses, these emotions are appropriate. They're appropriate at certain times. If you go to a funeral, someone you love, it might be appropriate to be sad. There's a big dog chasing you to bite your butt. It might be appropriate to have anxiety, so you run a bit faster, jump a bit higher. If somebody's really wronged you, cost you money, said something untruthful about you that you know, it's probably appropriate to be angry. But if you're just sitting at home and none of that's really going on outside of your head, and you're just feeling that, then it's probably it's not really a need for you to feel it at that moment, because it's not keeping you safe. There's no lesson. In which case, you can start to interrupt those emotions, not just interrupt and disrupt them, but to let them go. So what happens? Trigger happens. Oh, I feel really angry. Bang. And instead of going down the anger highway, you start to go down the new highway, which the trigger's there for a millisecond. It lights you up to let you know now's the time to take action. Like when you're driving and it says stop, it's like the stop signal, red sign comes up, and then straight away you go into it. And every time you do that, it starts to interrupt it and makes the neurological pathway of anger in your brain, or sadness or anxiety, becomes weaker and weaker and weaker, to eventually they don't exist. So naturally, something happens that would have caused you to feel anger, sadness, or anxiety in the past. And now it's just, you're nonplussed about it. It's like, all right, how can I work this situation so I can be safe to learn from it and not emotionally get involved in it? Because the emotions they're like having spectacles, they're like having glasses, because you want to see. You want to see, so you have glasses. That's why you have emotions, you want to see. But sometimes these glasses, these spectacles get dirty. They get dirty. And then you start to see the world through these dirty glasses, and everything looks dirty and shitty everywhere. And no matter what's right or wrong in your life, everywhere you look, you see shit. You see dirt. It looks foggy. But sometimes what you've got to do is just take off the glasses and just clean them and then put them back on, and the world hasn't changed. But because you're looking through glasses that are now clean, it's like, oh, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful person. What an amazing opportunity. Oh, the world's treating me so well. No, it isn't. The world's treating you exactly how it used to treat you. You've just changed the one thing, the only thing you can control. Can't control the triggers. You can control what you do with them, or how other people are treating you, or how fast they want to respond. But you can absolutely clean up your glasses, put them on, so you can see the world for what it is and not what you think it is. Make sense?
Does the pinky one? I was actually quite surprised. It worked. It worked like a charm.
I know, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So I want you to add those to your tool case over next week, right? Because there will be triggers. However, because remember, every road into the problem is also the road out of the problem as well. It's the same. There's one road in and there's one road out. So now that with the triggers we think are bad. Actually, triggers say, if this what triggers you, it means we need to do a little bit more work around this. It's great. It's great. Right? It's a bit like you're writing a book. You're a perfectionist, and you think your book's great, but you're not the world's best speller. So if you publish that book without a proofreader, and now, no matter how great a speller you think you are, there's all these grammatical errors and spelling errors, and suddenly people laugh at your book and no one can read it and it's a piece of shit. Versus, I know I'm not a great speller. I know I don't structure sentences perfectly. I'm going to hire someone to proofread my book, and they're going to point out all the weaknesses in it. But that's beautiful, because that means if they can point it out, then I clean up, fix this sentence, fix this word, and go back to eventually they can't point out anything wrong with it. Now, when I release it, nobody can ever say there's ever any spelling errors, any grammatical errors in it. It's written the way it's supposed to, because I've made it airtight, made it watertight. Your triggers are a bit like a proofreader for a book. It can seem frustrating and annoying. And why are you still here? Why can't everything be perfect all the time? If everything was perfect all the time, we'd be dead probably. We'd have transcended to the next level. These triggers are like the proofreader. Why would I get annoyed, frustrated? Oh, how come she saw that word? No one else is going to see that word. It's her job, your unconscious's job, to see those things. That when you let them all go and you improve yourself, eventually there's less and less triggers until your book's perfect, and then everyone buys it. Buy my book, coming soon. There you go. Cool?
Love it. Yeah.
Right. So in a minute, we're going to go in. So I want you to add the fingers in the videos that I sent you along with the tapping that you're going to do every day. And the days you don't want to do it, the days you're a bit cocky or the days you're like, fuck it. Those are the days you absolutely got to do it. Got to do it. Got to do it. Then assess after how you feel. But the days you don't want to do it, the days you've got to do it even more for your wellness. And you've got the orange liquid recording as well that I want you to listen to. There you go. Saved by the bell.
Sorry, I forgot to disconnect that phone.
No problem. So we're going to go back into the Cobra in a minute. We're going to have a chat with your unconscious. Just put a, what do you call it, a cherry on top of your sundae, and then we'll be done for today. So all I want you to do is just get your left hand and arm like it was last week. Make sure it's resting on something sturdy, that I can see your fingers. I can see, like you can see my left hand, you can see, I can see your left hand. That's beautiful. Now just have your fingers facing towards the screen. Beautiful. And now, Scotty, once you do that, yeah, that's beautiful. In a minute, I'm just going to ignore you respectfully as I did last week, and then I'll check in with you from time to time. But I'm just going to speak to your hand. If I need to speak with you, I'll just say, Scotty. It'll be a bit louder. You'll know I'm directly speaking to you consciously, and you'll be able to answer. Other than that, I'm going to be referring to your hand as your unconscious, subconscious, super mind. Cool?
Absolutely.
Excellent. And like last week, you can watch if you want. You can close your eyes. You can take your head away if you want. However you want to do it, it's fine. I'm speaking to you now, Scotty, super powerful unconscious mind, the primal mind, the part that breathes the lungs, that beats the heart, that controls all of his memories, all of his emotions. That's right. And I want to thank you for the good work you've done over the last week. And I want to check in with you and open up that line of communication between you and I and Scotty here today, as we did last week. So all I'd like for you to do is just come online now, take possession of that left hand, fingers, the skeletal system. That's right. Now, thank you. And what I'd like you to do now is start to twist, turn, pivot, rotate that hand all the way to the fingers are facing Scotty's face. And you can do that now by taking control of more of the muscles, more of the tendons, more of the ligaments, and start to twist, turn, pivot, rotate in jerky movement. That hand, that wrist, those fingers all the way around Scotty's face now in a way that feels right for you. Very good. Thank you. And now, just as you did last week, I'd like for you to make Scotty smile and give him a wave, a little wave. It might be the whole hand or a finger or a thumb, but give him a little wave just to say hi to him right now in a way that feels right for you. Thank you. And now just take that hand back to the start. So the fingers are facing me, still in the Cobra position, facing the computer. So untwist, unwind, unpivot, unrotate that hand so it's facing me in the start position, please. Beautiful. Scott, are you all right if we continue?
Absolutely.
Did you, it's a bit faster this week, eh?
Yeah, it's jerky.
And yeah, absolutely. And technically it will be jerky because if it's smooth, it'd be a conscious movement. And I just want to double make sure with you, you're not playing along with any of that to make me happy in any way.
Not at all. My index finger wanted to lift right up right from the start.
And that's what will happen sometimes is you will know, you'll feel the feeling before it will move sometimes. So you're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. Nothing. Are you okay if we continue?
Yep.
Beautiful. Scotty's super powerful unconscious mind. I want to thank you for communicating here again this week. I want to thank you for some of the changes you put into place for last week. I just want to make sure that you can communicate with me and I can understand you. So if I ask you a question and the answer is yes, how would you show me the answer is yes? What finger would you move? How would you twist the wrist or rotate? How would you answer yes to me? A raising of the index finger. Thank you so much. And if I were to ask you a question and the answer was no, how would you show me no? What other little finger? Thank you. That is beautiful. And you can relax those fingers to the normal relaxed position now. Thank you. So the question I have for you now Scotty's super powerful unconscious mind is what part of I promise to not let Scotty drink anymore do you not understand? So you made a promise to me last week, but more importantly, you made a promise to Scotty. And I asked you not to promise me anything to make me happy, and not to promise anything to just make Scotty happy, that you have no intention of following through. I asked you only to make a promise if you absolutely agreed for the greater good to do it. And you haven't done that. So what part of I promise to switch this problem off do you not understand? You promised me and you promised Scotty to switch this off. We're on a ship, you and I. This is not a cruise ship. You, me and Scotty, we're on a ship. It's not a cruise ship. And we don't take any stowaways on this ship. It's not a ship. It's not a normal ship. It's not a cruise ship. It's a battleship because we're going into battle. So, do you now understand to not promise anything unless you absolutely agree to follow through on it? Yes or no? Thank you. And again, I want to make it abundantly clear. Don't tell me things because you want to make me feel happy and be a people pleaser. Only agree to things that you absolutely 100% promise that you're actually going to take action on. Do you absolutely promise to allow Scotty to go for the next week without drinking? Yes or no? Thank you so very, very much. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate us working together and keeping open this line of dialogue. If there is any other remaining issues in negative emotions, limiting decisions, beliefs, patterns, if there's anything that I have not asked you to cover, to delete, to quarantine, to get rid of, to allow Scotty to go forward, completely drink-free, happy, healthy, and loving himself, please go ahead and do that work now. Even if I have not asked you to do specific work, there's anything that you need to fix, heal, grow inside Scotty, there's anything you need to remove, go ahead, do that now. Take all the time you need. And when it's done, just give me the yes signal. Very good. Very, very good. And I really, again, I do continue on to thank you for all the great work that you are doing here, that you're doing, Scotty, that you are doing with me. That's right. Very good. So now I just want you to take a few moments, a deep breath, to allow any changes that need to happen, consciously or unconsciously, to go down properly, permanently, all the time now. That's right. An interesting thing is this. Oftentimes, people walk around life with some extra anxiety, worry, guilt, shame, or remorse, whether that be from the past, the present, or the future. And what I want you to do is this. I want you to imagine now that any remaining anxiety that you have inside your body for this or anything else, imagine now that it's leaving your body like smoke, leaving a fire, spiraling from a small campfire, getting higher and higher into the air, past the ceiling, past the sky, past the sun, right to the edges of the universe, where it simply gets burned up completely. That's right. If you have any remaining worry, allow that now to come out like smoke coming from a campfire, past the ceiling, past the sky, past the sun, past the stars, all the way to the edges of the universe where it's burned up completely now. And the funny thing is, every person who's ever lived, and certainly anyone that I've spoken to has been honest, they carry around some guilt or shame. Now, sometimes it might be appropriate, but oftentimes people carry around a bunch of shame and guilt that's not appropriate, that they don't need at all and does them no good. It feels real, but it's not real, and there's no reason for them to feel this. But we put our hands up if we do something where we do that's wrong, we ever wrong someone, we put our hands up and say, I'm sorry. But sometimes we still have guilt and shame for no real reason at all, but we harbor it. So now I simply want to allow any guilt, any shame, any remorse for you, other people, whether it's real or unreal, consciously or unconsciously, allow that to leave your body now, like smoke leaving a fire, past the roof, up into the sky, past the stars, past the sun, all the way to the edges of the universe, where it's burned up completely. That's right. And if there's any other remaining negative emotions, limiting beliefs, patterns, behaviors that are no longer serve Scotty, that are no longer useful to Scotty, what I want you to do now is allow them now to all come together as one, like smoke from your fire, spiraling up, spiraling all the way up, leaving your roof, leaving the moon, leaving the sky, the sun, whatever time of day it is, where it's absorbed by the universe, completely eaten up. Taking all that negativity with it now. Take all the time you need to do that now. One big chunk of smoke leaving your body and mind. And when it's taken with it, every last limitation that's holding you back from being totally clean, and take all the time you need to do that now. When that's done, just give me the signal with the yes finger. Very good. Very, very good. And now what I want you to do is I want you to build a bulletproof bubble around you that's totally impenetrable, totally bulletproof, ensuring that none of those negative emotions, those limiting patterns, those limiting beliefs, those old things you used to do, none of them can get to you now because they're all outside of the bubble. What's inside the bubble is all these beautiful resources, love, energy, fulfillment, resilience inside the bubble, keeping you safe, keeping you protected. And none of that other stuff is inside. It's now outside. The bad stuff is now outside and can't get back in. And it can't bother you the way it once did. The anxiety, the addiction, the drinking, it's outside. And indeed, if there was anything that used to bother you, it might even seem like the most interesting thing in the world now, but it just can't come into your bubble. It can't penetrate. The bubble just pushes those things further and further away, so they're no longer going to hurt you or make you suffer. All the good stuff is inside the bubble. All the bad stuff is outside the bubble. It gets further and further away as you're protected from triggers. You're protected in your daily life. You're protected wherever you go, whether that be when you go to sleep at night, whether that be when you're with your dad, whether that be when you're getting interesting emails from clients that want their work done yesterday. None of it bothers you. It stays outside. You just deal with what you can deal with in that moment professionally. And here's the interesting thing. What I want you to do now is I want you to remember that you've been hypnotized today, although you may not feel that you've been hypnotized today, because we haven't taken away any of your thoughts or memories. And strangely enough, sometimes you might even find a little hint of those issues coming back. But understand the problem hasn't come back. It's just echoes. It's just echoes of thoughts, of emotions, of situations that used to be. So anytime now you feel remotely that an old trigger has come back, realize you haven't regressed. Not at all. It's just an echo. And as soon as you feel that echo come in, you simply take a big deep breath in to your belly and you blow it away. You blow it away. And if you hear another echo, a thing that used to be an old trigger, you simply realize it's just an echo. It's not there anymore. You breathe into your belly. You hold it for a moment. And as you breathe out, you push it away. Let it go. It just disappears. It evaporates. And again, there may be another trigger, but you realize, no, it's an echo. It's just an echo of a way of something that used to be. like an echo. When someone is in the mountains and they talk, they might hear that echo for seconds or moments later. But it's not really the voice anymore because the voice has already left their mouth. It's just an echo. It's not real anymore. It's like a parrot that's talking. You breathe in to your belly, and as you breathe out, it just disappears and goes away. So you have more space in that environment. You focus on that one ball that you're juggling in that one moment. And when you're focused on that one ball or one situation, the next ball goes up and you get that done. And then the next ball, one by one, you are in control. If you're absolutely okay with all this and you've done this work today properly, permanently, and all the time, then just give me the yes signal and let me know. That's right. In a moment, not just yet, but in a moment, your hand is going to slowly start to descend towards the table, your chair, or lap. And as it starts to slowly descend now, when those fingertips touch your lap, the table, or the side arm of the chair, it lets you know that all these new programs, the positive ones, have been installed deep in your unconscious and are running in the background, allowing you to have different experiences of feeling amazing. And all the old programs that no longer serve you have been uninstalled and deleted, deleted once and for all. Take all the time to allow that hand to wander down all by itself, knowing that when those fingers eventually touch your leg, the arm of the chair or the table, you then can open your eyes, knowing that this work is done, feeling amazing, feeling like brand new.
Feel good.
Feel good. Feel a little bit different than last time, don't you?
Yeah. I do. Yeah. I feel like I've had such an eye-opening week, and you know, I'm starting to hear from other people, you know, that, you know, like I have a ton of support. I love my support. But I don't need that, like, the reassurance part. Like I'm confident that when I start my day, you know, I'm not revolving it around, you know, that, like, I'm in control of it. I have a better feeling of being in more control. And I just physically and mentally, I feel a lot clearer, like an opening, you can kind of like see a light. Yeah,
an opening, the light. Yeah,
and there's hope. And it just like, just going through my days now, when I plan my day, and I don't plan it around, you know, when am I going to have my first drink, when am I going to have my last one, when am I going to go to bed, when am I going to wake up. Like it was just a negative cycle.
Awesome, buddy. So how are you? Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I just feel a lot lighter.
Awesome, man. How are you next Thursday? Pretty much the same time, like 1 o'clock.
Yeah. If please, that'd be awesome.
So all I want you to do over the next week is do your tapping every day, even the days you don't want to do it. Listen to the orange liquid, number 2. Play around with the fingers that we talked about today. If you forget, it's really simple. Anger, sadness, and this is fear, worry, anxiety. And I sent you some videos of them on. Also the shape. If you're feeling something that you don't necessarily have a label, but you just don't like it, color, shape, which way is the energy going, pull it out wherever it is in your body, change the color, change the shape, change the trajectory of the energy, then put it back in your body. That will typically change your whole experience with it. Keep the journaling up, and then we'll rock and roll next week and see how well you're doing.
Awesome, Luke. That sounds so good, man. Thank you.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you. No problem. You're doing great, man. I'm proud of you.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank
See you
you.
next week, man.
All right, take care.
Bye.